Thank you all very, very much for being here today. My name is Tylor Taylor. I'm the Executive Director for the Saratoga Area Senior Coordinating Council, or more affectionately known as SASE. And I also serve on the Santa Clara County Senior Care Commission, as well as the Saratoga Age Friendly Commission. It's definitely my honor and privilege to welcome you all to today's event, Saratoga State of the City. We're going to have a fabulous time here. Today's theme is fun and informative, so with the emphasis on fun. So we're going to have a great time, but first I just want to start off by recognizing a few of our dignitaries here in the audience today. If I could please have folks, and please feel free to applaud as you see fit. Everyone here deserves more than one clap. So I'd like to start off by recognizing the Saratoga City Council, our Mayor, Manny Cappello. We have Vice Mayor Howard Miller. Council members Marilyn Bernald and Yan Zhao. We also have from Assembly Member Evan Lowe's office, Juliana Park. And also seated in front, we have the President of the Santa Clara County Board of Supervisors, Mr. Joseph Midian. And also from the County Board of Supervisors, we have Dave Cortese. We'd also like to say a welcome and thank you to the new Chancellor of the West Valley Mission Community College District, Mr. Brad Davis. We also have a member of the Board of Trustees from the West Valley Mission Community College Board, Mr. Jack Lucas. And also with us is Interim President of West Valley College, Mr. Charles Bullock. Now, we'd also like to recognize all of our fellow elected officials from our neighboring communities. If you are an elected official, please stand up to be recognized and wave to the audience. And with us, we have representatives from San Jose, Los Gatos, and Campbell, so thank you all for being here. All right, we also have the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office represented here, Captain Rich Urena. Fantastic job with our communities. We also have the Saratoga Fire Protection District. We can have them spend the time. We also have several school board district members. Do we have any school district board members here with us today? Please stand and be recognized. We also have the Santa Clara Valley Water District. We have the Mid-Peninsula Regional Open Space District, Madronia Cemetery District, and also our city and county commissioners. Please, everyone, give them a warm welcome. More importantly, though, I'd like to thank and welcome all of the people who took a Saturday to come here, spend the day with us, have a good time, and to really take a chance to listen to some of the fabulous things that are happening here in Saratoga. So a round of applause for everyone here. So, in keeping with the fun and informative theme, I'd like to bring to the stage a very special group of people, one of our best commissions here in Saratoga, the Youth Commission. Saratoga Youth Commission, please come here. Now, what they're going to do is we're all going to play a game. This is probably the only time that we'll ask you to take your phones out and actually use them during this event. But if you would, please take your phones out. We're going to play a game, and I'll let them explain a little bit more about it.
Hi, I'm Varsha Ramohan, and I'm the Vice Chair of the Saratoga Youth Commission. And we're here today to teach you all how to play Kahoot, which is a fun trivia and developing game on your phones. Well, for those of you who don't know how to play, it's really easy to learn, and it's also a lot of fun. So how it works is that you will see a question pop up on the screen, and you have 10 seconds to select your answer. And your final score will be based on the accuracy of your answer as well as how fast you answer. The first question is, where will the Saratoga to Sea Trail start? The next question is, where are the most competitive ping pong matches held in Saratoga? What is the first community college in the world to receive the age-friendly designation? The correct answer was West Valley College. How many Saratoga City Council members are there? There are 5 total council members. Which of the following is not a Saratoga commission? The Food Safety Commission does not. How many miles long is the city's pavement system? Where is the newest bocce ball court in Saratoga? Los Gatos Saratoga Recreation is now the city's recreation provider. True or false? Which of the following improvements were recently made on Prospect Road? Which of these is not a public art initiative in Saratoga? Who makes up the community emergency response team? True or false? Oh wait, sorry, not true. How many acres of city parks are in Saratoga? Congratulations to our top 3 winners. We have Mary Lynn, the Vice Mayor, and Fish Rep. Thank you all for playing Kahoot with us, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
All right, thank you. All right, one more round of applause for the Saratoga Youth Commission. Now, I do want you all to know that I totally threw that. I could have won that game, but I decided to play nice. But anyway, so we learned a lot. Actually, those questions obviously were designed to kind of inform and also have a good time at the same time. Saratoga just does a lot of incredible things, and to have someone come up here that knows a lot more about it, that can help us through some of the details, I'd like to welcome Mayor Manny Cappello to the stage. Okay, so have a seat, Mr. Mayor. You know, part of what you envisioned for today was something a little less formal, something that was conversational to where we could be in front of everyone and really be close and in touch. One of the things that has really inspired me as a community representative and someone who's one of our community partners is just the importance that you place on certain things and the leadership that you and the council have shown. I think everyone here could stand to hear a little bit more about what's important to you and why.
Well, thank you. I very much appreciate that question. But before I get started on it, I just want to say that I'm a little disappointed that I have 2 of my council members that beat me out in the Kahoot game, and I didn't even make it into the top 3. So I'm not sure I'm worthy of being up here on stage. Maybe Mary Lynn Bernal should be here in my place since she finished first. But anyway, thank you for the question. You know, one of the things that's always been really important to me, you know, when I was coming onto the council or thinking about joining the city council was, you know, how can I, you know, make a difference within the community that I love, right? I raised my family here, and I've lived here for some 8 years. And so how can I make a difference? How can I leave this place in a better position than it was prior? And through the inspiration of Lisa, my partner in everything, and you, Tyler, I learned about the challenges that a lot of our residents face, especially those that are seniors. Each and every one of them that I've spoken to has this desire to age in place in their home. Many of them find themselves in a position where they're house rich and cash poor. And so it dawned on me that this is a particular segment within our population that we need to give extra attention to, that we need to support as much as we possibly can. As you can imagine, and as maybe some of you have seen with family members, or maybe experienced this yourself, that once your driver's license is taken away from you, then it's really hard for you to function within this community. You can't go to the grocery store, you can't go to meet up with friends, you can't do much of anything at all. And so, again, I thought we could do better. Not to mention, as I got involved in these various things, I started to realize that Saratoga happens to have a distinction in having the largest percentage population of seniors within the community. And so when you put those things together, it just became apparent and obvious that we need to address that as best we possibly can. And so I think we'll talk about some of those programs in a bit, I'm sure, since you're here and asking me questions. And these are ones that are near and dear to your heart as well. But that's what motivates me, that's what drives me. And if we can make a dent to make it a little bit easier for our seniors to live in their homes and have a vital, active lifestyle, then I'll be able to walk away from the city council at some point and be proud.
You know, one of the things that we've shared in conversations, and I've heard you quote several times, is your belief that a strong community, a good community, takes care of its seniors and its youth. But in a recent conversation, you added something to that, and I thought that was pretty relevant. Can you tell them a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so again, I've said this many, many times, and so you guys are probably tired of hearing it, but Again, I've always felt that great cities are those that take care of their youth and take care of their seniors. But then there's also this other element, right? Those who take care of their poor, right? We can't neglect them either. The unfortunate circumstance is that many of our seniors find themselves to be in that position of being poor also, as I mentioned earlier. And so if we can incorporate another element to the whole equation, right? Darwin's theory of evolution is survival of the fittest and natural selection, but there's one element that is missing, and that is the element of cooperation. We as a society can achieve greatness if we are working together. And again, we help each other, especially those that need help the most. So again, it's not just enough of understanding who the vulnerable group is within the community, but also putting things in place to be cooperative, to be supportive, and to enable them the full value of their life here in Saratoga.
You know, that there's a lot of evidence behind that in the council's continuing support of different community agencies and partners that allow the city, as a minimum service city, to really reach out and make a difference in people's lives and their residents. And speaking of partnerships, Supervisor Simidian, in his State of the County address, spoke about partnership and progress. And in this city, it's really reflected well. And in particular, of course, I'm the senior center guy, so I'm going to talk about those issues. But we've made some strides beyond just seniors and into the age-friendly realm, which really connects all ages and walks of life. So tell us a little bit about that and how you actually began the process of getting the city of Saratoga designated as age-friendly and some of the projects that you're proud of.
Yeah, sure. Before I dive into that, I just got to share a story of Joe and myself, the time that we had lunch, and we went to the burger bar in our downtown area. And so he's chuckling, he knows what I'm going to say. We went there for lunch. There was no agenda or purpose necessarily, but of course, as he always does, in the spirit of cooperation and working together, he asked me, what's going on in Saratoga, and what can I do to help? And I told him about our senior center and how there's two elements of our senior center. One that is of all the recreational activities associated with them, the ping pong and so forth, as we saw in Kahoot. But also there's the adult care center, which is like a care center for children, right? A care center for seniors. These are the more frail population within the city. And so again, I shared with him the fact that we were this close to basically closing the doors on it because we could no longer support it financially. And he says, how much money do you guys need? I gave him the number, and it was a fairly large number. And he says, well, let me see what I can do, right? And he said, but he put a caveat on it from the standpoint of, it's sometimes difficult, County Board of Supervisor realm in order to have things be adopted. After all, they do address the concerns of the poor, the homeless, and so forth. They're most frail, right? That's their focus. And he shared with me that, it's a little difficult to get, folks to really pay attention when I'm bringing something up in the mean old streets of Saratoga. And again, I chuckled with that, but it was very meaningful from the standpoint that it was a bit of a battle, and it would be a bit of an effort in order to make this happen for us. And he did, right? And he came through. We managed to maintain the doors, and now it thrives. We have individuals there that are a large group of veterans from our community, and they are in large numbers showing up and getting the service that they need, giving a bit of respite for their family members. And so it's again, another example of how we work in cooperation with one another. And again, Joe, thank you so much for your efforts. And Dave Cortese, who serves on the same body, right? I know that it takes a vote, a majority vote of the entire body in order for these things to happen. So again, thank you to both of you for that. Now, back to the question. What was the question?
Our partnerships and how we use those partnerships to progress.
Yes. Yeah. So again, Lisa and Tyler came to me and told me about a program that was going on across the world. It's called World Health Organization's age-friendly, of course, yeah. And so we partnered with AARP in order to put together a program that, once again, allows our seniors to age in place as long as they possibly can. And again, because we have a large percentage population, we took it upon ourselves to kind of be the leaders in this area, to maybe embark on certain things, try some things out, and share with our fellow cities and councils in terms of what works and what doesn't work and type thing. And so it was one of the few times that we as a city take that type of leadership role in a particular realm. So I was really proud of that. So again, as a result of bringing together a group of people, a cross-section of the community that has never been brought together in one purpose ever before. It was really, really fantastic. We had individuals, and Lisa and you, correct me if I missed anybody, we had the Chamber of Commerce. We had the fire department, the sheriff's office. We had public works and all of our city staff. We had the high school, because it's multi-generational. We had, what am I missing here? The college, the library. Ministerial, thank you. Fish rep, right? Number 3. Good job. Yeah, Eric Swanson, right? Presbyterian, the minister at the West Hope Presbyterian Church. An amazing partner for us who engaged with this. There's only so much that we can do as an entity. We need partners in order to achieve our results. And this is a perfect example of that. Bringing people together, so many great minds, each with their own vision and plans in order to provide or make this a better place for seniors.
I mean, it's an investment, right? It's an investment not only of resources, time, and people's dedication, but it's also an investment of money. You can't make very much happen with good intentions. You can get something started, but you do need people to back it up. And just a small, just a window into the process that it takes for a community to become age-friendly and try to unite everyone. We started with a community assessment that the city paid for. We were able to take a real deep look into the issues facing our seniors and what it was like for them to get older in place. We used that to design an action plan, and we're carrying through that action plan even to this day under Lisa Oakley's leadership. The other cities, every single city in Santa Clara County is an age-friendly community, and it's the nation's first county to become completely age-friendly. And supervisors and all of our representatives from our other neighboring communities have all invested in this to a great degree, in particular with the RIDE Senior Transportation Program that we're all very proud of. So those are just some great examples, Manny, and I really appreciate you sharing that with us today. Now, moving on to another topic here. We're in a beautifully renovated whole entire space, and we're going to talk more about that later, but the City of Saratoga has a new service provider for its recreation services. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so it's new, but it's not really new. Los Gatos Saratoga Rec Department has been in place for decades, and they've been providing recreational services for all the communities that surround us, including Campbell. And like some of my co-Earthfords from Campbell are here, Los Gatos, and so forth. And so this is an organization that we've been working with for a long, long time. However, we find that right now they are taking a much larger role in providing those rec services to our community, and we're thrilled to have them as part of our team in a much stronger way.
Wonderful. Now, you mentioned the partnerships and also the improvements. We saw a lot of the questions here about roads and what things have been improved recently here. And there was a ceremony recently at the Prospect Center. Another ribbon cutting, I believe. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? That was very exciting.
Yeah, so Prospect Road, one of our major arterials through Saratoga on the north end, the extreme north end. In fact, we share the border with Chappie, who is on the city council in San Jose. And so, we had done improvements on each of our major arterials. This one here had not been completed. And partly because, and forgive me, Chappie, no disrespect at all, it really wasn't a priority associated with San Jose. They own one half of the road, or the one side of the road. Saratoga owns the other side. And so they had other bigger fish to fry. And so from that standpoint, we just never could align our intentions perfectly to be able to do this earlier. But our amazing Public Works Department managed to secure the largest single grant that Saratoga has ever received in the sum of $5.3 million. Yeah, it was amazing. Charbonne and Macedonio Nunez are the key individuals associated with that, but again, the entire Public Works Department really went to bat on that one and received this grant. So, not only do we make tremendous safety improvements to the roadway, but we also made some aesthetic beautification improvements to the area. We coupled it with the neighborhood entrances that came off of Prospect, giving them each neighborhood an opportunity to do, beautiful signage entrances to their community, and everyone's been really thrilled. So whether you travel Prospect Road on bike, on foot, by bus, and I'm missing one.
Chair.
Or
I
chair.
travel down by a wheelchair also.
It's chair and foot.
It's safe.
Yeah. Right. I'm sorry.
We're using ride.
Or using
Or
ride.
using the ride
Absolutely,
program.
the ride program, right? No matter what mode of transportation, even if you're walking, you're going to find that the improvements are there that make it safer. I mean, it was kind of crazy. We had a street, right, that goes from Saratoga-Sunnyvale Road all the way to Lawrence Expressway, in which if you walked the street, you would find that there were intermittent sidewalks, for God's sakes, right? You'd be on the sidewalk and then you'd find that, oh, there's no more sidewalk, it's dirt, and so now we've got to walk in the roadway for a period of time only to find another piece of sidewalk. I mean, that was the situation that we had. Now, not only do we have continuous sidewalks that go the entire length, but we have median improvements with plantings, trees, and so forth that are in there that are beautiful, but nonetheless, what we learn and what we know is that when you improve the medians, it actually reduces the speed of traffic as well. It's a natural calming effect on vehicular traffic. And so again, the improvements are amazing. We've already seen the results associated with it. I had the ability to be part of to do the ribbon cutting. Luckily, it just fell on the time that I was mayor. But again, this is a reflection of the entire council's commitment and prioritizing in such a way that we can get this thing done.
There are so many projects that we could talk about here today with the commitment of the council. You guys had a 2020 Trees by 2020 initiative. You also opened up what used to be No Name Park is now called Friendship Park. And so I think the list goes on. And as we all mingle and enjoy the outside, which is one of the best projects yet, please ask Manny and any of the council members more about those very special projects. Are there any other, before we move on to our next topic, are there any other city initiatives that you're particularly proud of that you'd like to point out?
Yeah, you mentioned the 2020 initiative, and so back in 2016 when I was mayor, I challenged the council and our city to plant 2,020 trees by the year 2020. And it was because we just come through a major drought and a lot of our tree canopy, which we value very much in our city, was eliminated, right, destroyed. And so we embarked on this, and I'm happy to say as of March of this year, 2019, we've exceeded the 2020. And so I'm really proud of that. Again, we're a Tree City USA. We've been one for a long, long time, and that just reflects not only the values of the council, but also the values of the community overall.
Well, one of the things that Saratoga is known for is to be good stewards of their finances and resources. Be able to pull off these type of projects, and I think some of the information here related to that would be good to bring up as well.
Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna ask our Vice Mayor Howard Miller to join us on stage because he, in the years that he's been on the council, he's always been on the finance committee. He knows our budget like the back of his hand, and from that standpoint, I think he can do a much better job in terms of responding to that question than me. So, Howard.
Normally the best part about being vice mayor is you get to sit on the sides and just make sure the mayor looks good. So give me the weird ones. The city of Saratoga's financial philosophy is not necessarily as the same as some large cities. You may not know, but we get a smaller percentage of our property tax than any other city in the state of California. So we are a resource-limited city. Call that a minimum service city, by the way. And so when you look at capital projects, we have a unique process. Rather than budgeting capital projects on an ongoing basis from our current year, we wait until the year is over. We see how much excess money we have, and then we program that money for the future year. So we're never in a situation where we are counting on money that hasn't come in yet to fund a project. A second major philosophy of our city, and you kind of hit on it, Manny, is that we rely heavily on partnerships and grants and cooperation. And so I want to talk about a few of the projects that go on within our city. You mentioned Prospect Road. The only thing that you left out was the median is bee-friendly.
Oh. We need our bees. We need those bees.
And we actually got 2 grants from BTA. And the total project was $7.3 million, and we only put up $760,000. So very highly leveraged within our city. We're going to see the bocce ball courts today. That was a partnership project. The city put up part of the money and the citizens put up part of the money. This very floor that you sit on is a partnership. So how does a project become real within our city? Well, staff has projects. Council members can co-sponsor. It takes 2 council members to sponsor a project. We collect all those projects up, and every year we put the whole list on the board, and the council decides which ones are going to be real projects and which ones are not. Just because it's real doesn't mean we have money. There are other elected officials in here. You know you have hundreds of millions of dollars of project where you don't have nearly that much money. Am I right, Joe? Yes, everybody lives this. And then we take what limited funds we do have and we spread it amongst the projects. Again, with the philosophy of trying to figure out how to leverage money. So let me mention a couple of projects that are going on. The Senior Center was completed. That was a partnership. We have projects coming up. We're going to redo the whole facade of the building to give a real interest to the Senior Center. That's a city-sponsored project. The smallest sponsored project within our city is $20,000 a year for public art. Deanne and Mary Lynn sponsored that project, and that's an ongoing grant. The largest ongoing project in our city is road maintenance, and we have worked through the recession to bring that up to a level of $2 million a year, and I'm proud to announce that last year we achieved that goal, and we're maintaining it this year. That was a staff-driven project. I got a whole list in my pocket, but everybody's bored already. So, we will be redoing in the coming year a few things that matter. This intersection here at Allendale by Redwood will be redone. That's a capital improvement project. 2021 will be replacing the bridges on Quito Road. That's the second largest capital project in the city, almost $5 million. And again, the vast majority of that money is coming from grants. It neighbors Los Gatos, so we are the lead agency, but we are notifying 3 times as many people in the city of Los Gatos as Saratoga about the project and what's going on. It's good stewards. And then a project near and dear to my heart, after at least 20 years, and maybe longer, with the help of the county, and with the help of Mid-Penn Open Space District, and the voters of 2 counties that approved Measure AA, we are going to, cross your fingers, cut the ribbon on the Saratoga to the Sea Trail, a $2.8 million project. The last phase is $2.8 million. Half of that funding is coming from Measure AA, and the other half is coming from the city. And then in terms of projects that are upcoming, that have been proposed, another project with Yan, 6 months, 3 projects proposed by Yan. The koi pond at Coney Garden. There's no way we can refurbish this regional asset just by ourselves, but money has been put up by the Coney Foundation for a detailed master plan, and in February, we as a council will debate putting additional funds from the city in an actual fundraising effort, and hopefully we can get partnerships with other cities and jurisdictions near us to figure out how to renovate the koi pond at Coney. So there's a ton of projects. I could go on for years about all the projects. The process is complicated only because we lack money. And we do the best that we can and leverage every penny that's available.
Well, you know, one fabulous example of that I'll bring up is the RIDE program. This was a program that was a 5-city project that every single community had to chip in some money to help get this off the ground, to make it affordable. The county put up a third, VTA put up a third, and the rest of the communities that are served, Campbell, Cupertino, Montessorino, Los Gatos, and Saratoga, each pulled together, leveraged each other's resources to allow this program to deliver up to 5,000 rides a year to seniors who are isolated, who are without service, and who may not live in close proximity to public transportation. It's affordable, people are able to go where they want, when they want, and we have several people here today that have used the program and have spoken up for it when funding challenges happen. So you guys have been a wonderful example of how to pool resources together and make a lot happen with a little bit. So. Mr. Mayor, I believe we're going to move on to awards, but before we do, I just want to give everyone a little sample of what's going to happen right after our ceremony. We have bocce outside, and in the senior center, we have resource tables. Please refer to your program. Does everyone have a program? There was one on everyone's seat. Inside, there is a bingo game, so we're encouraging everyone to visit each one of the resource tables, get a stamp, and the first 50 people to complete their bingo game and turn it into the city resource table will receive a prize. Now we have ice cream, we have cannolis, and we also have wine. And I want to take a moment to thank Cooper Garrett Winery, and also give them a round of applause. And also the House Family Vineyards, they are both supplying and providing and pouring the wine for us today. Scoop and Stick has the ice cream, and we also have an accordionist here to serenade us as we play bocce. So everyone, please enjoy the rest of the day, and we have a very special ceremony that's about to begin. Thank you all very much.
Happy to see my fellow council members on the stage here with me, because again, these awards that we are going to be delivering today are not just reflective of my interest, but also the interests of my entire city council. So for many years, our Chamber of Commerce has been really helpful in our efforts to identify the Business Person of the Year as well as the Citizen of the Year, based on nominations from members of the public as well as from the Chamber themselves. So we're going to start off with the Business Person of the Year. This person is selected based on their outstanding efforts to create a positive environment for businesses in Saratoga. This year, Tylor Taylor has been selected for the Business Person of the Year for 2019. Tylor, please go ahead. Let me tell you a little bit about Tylor. Of course, everybody knows Tylor, but in case you don't know all the details, let's tell you a little bit about him, right? Tylor lives in Saratoga with his wife, Cindy. Not too much. You just, you grab the mic if I'm going in the wrong direction. He lives with his wife, Cindy. He's a realtor at Compass Real Estate. He grew up here attending Foothill Grammar School, is that right? Okay, good. Redwood Middle School, Saratoga High School, before going off and to attend Southwestern University School of Law in Los Angeles. Did you guys know that he is a lawyer? As a lawyer, Tylor specialized in contract negotiations for the Silicon Valley companies, several of them. Tylor's knowledge of the area, combined with his understanding of marketing, event planning, and cultivation of personal relationships, has led him to be an expert in Saratoga real estate and invaluable community volunteer. He is currently on the Saratoga Chamber of Commerce board, and he's done that for quite some time. Previously, he served as the vice president. For 10 years, Tylor and his sons Cody and Trevor have organized the annual Saratoga Car Show. which not only brings thousands of people to our downtown area, but it is a hoot and a half. It is a fantastic event. For those of you that have attended, you know what I'm talking about. So on behalf of the City Council, the Chamber, the entire community is all, we'd like to award you with this commendation. There you go, Tiger. Next up is the Citizen of the Year, again nominated and selected by the Chamber of Commerce. This person was selected based on their commitment to volunteerism and involvement in activities that benefit the Saratoga community. This year, we're honoring William, I know him as Bill, Brooks, so please. Your family to join you up here, you're welcome to bring them up. You certainly don't want to pressure anybody here. Yes, absolutely. Again, a little bit about Bill. He's lived in Saratoga for over 40 years, has been a longtime volunteer for a number of Saratoga community organizations, including the Chamber of Commerce, the City of Saratoga Trails Subcommittee as well. Bill and his wife, Candy, have also been active in Saratoga's Community Emergency Response Team for over 10 years, and he has become disaster coordinator for the Episcopal Diocese of El Camino Real, which covers 40+ churches and institutions in the area. Bill's family has had horses in the Mount Eden Valley, which I did not know, for years, and after becoming aware of the potential of wildfire in that area, he was instrumental in forming the Santa Clara County Large Animal Evacuation Team, where he serves as team lead for the Saratoga, Cupertino, and Sunnyvale cities. Amazing. He also served as Saratoga's representative on the Stevens Creek County Park and the Sanborn County Park General Plan reviews, which led to the soon-to-be-built Saratoga to the Sea Trail. Again, on behalf of the City Council and the city as a whole, Bill, we'd like to award you with this commendation, which I hope that you will display proudly. Saratoga, we are so fortunate to have incredible public safety agencies, the Santa Clara Fire Department, as well as the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office. It has become a state of the city tradition for us to honor individuals from each of those departments. This year, we recognize Battalion Chief Jason Filarski as the 2019 Firefighter of the Year. Battalion Chief Filarski, if you could please join us up on stage. Battalion Chief Filarski is a native of Los Gatos, so he grew up here in the West Valley and, let's see, I lost my train of spot here. Oh, and always wanted to serve his community. He began his fire service career as a seasonal firefighter for CAL FIRE, and in 1991 he became a volunteer firefighter for the Santa Clara County Fire Department. In '94, he was hired full-time with the Santa Clara County Fire Department, and throughout his career, Battalion Chief Filarski has served the city of Saratoga, including as a fire captain stationed at the Saratoga Fire Station, and as battalion chief stationed in Battalion 72 as well as 83, which cover both the surrounding areas of Saratoga. Battalion Chief Filarski is passionate about wildfire prevention and response. He has served as the incident commander for our 2017 Mount Eden fire here in Saratoga, which I am personally grateful for because that was a fire that was just on the other side of the hill from our home. And boy, I tell you, we were sweating bullets as that smoke was bellowing over the hillside. Anyway, he now speaks at wildfire preparedness community meetings hosted by the Santa Clara County Fire, and he serves as the fire department liaison to the City of Saratoga Wildfire Task Force to support their efforts to proactively help Saratoga communities prepare for the threat of wildfire. Battalion Chief Larsky enjoys the community involvement that drives Saratoga events such as the Fire Station Pancake Breakfast, which we all know and love, holiday tree lighting, which is near and dear to my heart, and the annual car show, which we just mentioned with Tiger. Battalion Chief Larsky, thank you for your dedication, thank you for your commitment and everything that you do. I tell you, I sleep better at night just knowing that you're at the helm. And last but not least, I'd like to invite our 2019 Officer of the Year, who is Deputy Bernardo R.C. Deputy R.C. has been a member of the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office since 2008. He's got a beautiful family and a daughter that is to die for. Oh my goodness. Oh, isn't she beautiful? We might as well just give this award to her right now and be on her way. She is gorgeous. All right, he served in the Court Security Division, and then in 2010 he was assigned to the West Valley Patrol Division, which is our division here in Saratoga. In 2016, Deputy R.C. was selected to join the West Valley Patrol Traffic Unit as a motorcycle deputy, and after 2 years he chose to work exclusively in Saratoga as the primary traffic deputy. As a motor deputy, Deputy R.C. is responsible for the enforcement of traffic laws and the investigation of vehicle collisions. He does an excellent job of responding to citizen complaints, communicating with residents when traffic complaints are received, and responding to non-traffic related calls as well. Deputy R.C. works closely with all the schools in Saratoga by working faithfully with their crossing guards to make sure students are safe while walking to and from school. He also likes to give back to his community by participating in local school presentations, Boy Scout tours at the West Valley substation, and appearing at the Saratoga Traffic Safety Commission meetings. Over the past 6 years, WRC has volunteered hundreds of hours to raise money for the Northern California Special Olympics, including Tip a Cop, Baker to Vegas, and the Law Enforcement Torch Run. All of this on his own time to better the community. Again, I speak for the entire council when I express our appreciation for everything that you do for us. Much like our fire battalion chief, I sleep better knowing you're there. Thank you very much. Colleagues that I would have this wrapped up in 20 minutes. How am I doing so far? That's not much. I didn't tell you how many 20 minutes that I would take up. All right, but before we proceed on with our program, I want to thank staff. These things, these types of events are ones that we as council members, we say, we should do this, we should do that, and so forth. And of course, we don't do any of the work, right? We rely on staff to orchestrate these things, to arrange the rooms, to help us with the program, to just bring in our resource tables, resource-oriented partners that we have. It's amazing what they do, and I'd like to call them out at this moment, just as a sign of my appreciation. We have Crystal Cappello, Lauren Pettipiece was instrumental in today's Evan Brett Schneider, Janet Costa, others that were key to this, and please extend my gratitude to them as well. But I'd also like to point out and have a special thanks to our Public Works team, John Charbonne and his team, as well as the maintenance personnel that helped us to finish up this courtyard, right, in time for this event to take place, and as well as the countless details that were necessary in order to spruce up the room, get it all set up, everything in place. And so once again, thank you very much to staff for all of it. Okay, I'm going to now turn the mic over to Tylor Taylor once again, and council members, if you'll join me there.
All right, everyone. I think I got the louder mic, man. Hi, everyone, right over here, next to the big red ribbon. I'm the guy holding the humongous pair of scissors here. This is a very special event to honor the grand opening of our bocce courts and this redesigned back patio. Again, as the mayor said, none of this would have been possible without the dedication and work of all the staff of the city. They're just an incredible team of people to work with under James Lindsay. Mr. Mayor, I'll hand this off to you.
Okay, so. You guys ready? We've been waiting for this, and I know our seniors who requested this bocce ball court years ago our aunt helped fund it. This is for them as well. All right, here we go.
We're going to kick this off with an inaugural game. We'd like anyone who's interested in getting a little flavor of bocce to sign up with our wonderful Nina Walker, Facilities Director, and join us for a game outside. Thanks everyone for being here, and enjoy the rest of the day.